What's up, YouTube? We're going to do a revisited yo-yo review today. This is the YoyoFactory ProtoStar. So I did a review of the ProtoStar probably about a year ago, and I was pretty crappy, and it was a pretty bad review. I'll say that. It was a bad review. I may have even deleted it. I'm not sure. I haven't looked. But we are going to do a revisited review of the YoyoFactory ProtoStar. So before we get into talking about it, let's talk about the specs here. So the diameter of this yo-yo is 55.94 millimeters. It is 43.15 millimeters wide, has a 4.43 millimeter gap width, comes with the standard CBC slim pads, the 19 millimeter pads, and weighs in at 67 grams even, and comes with a center track bearing. So, to say that I like the ProtoStar is an understatement. I really, really like the ProtoStar. I almost love the ProtoStar, actually. So, I've had this ProtoStar for about a year, and honestly, it's just as good as it was the day I bought it. It seems like it might be kind of flimsy or so. It's like a really hard plastic, but I've taken this a lot of places and banged it off a lot of stuff, and it's fine. So, it seems like it might not be as durable as, say, the Replay Pro would be, but it's super durable because I haven't broken one in a year, and I'm not that gentle with stuff. In fact, mine still looks brand new. I did get another one. I got it in a trade that I was very happy about. So I have two ProtoStars, and in fact, I wouldn't mind having three. That's how much I like the ProtoStar. Super cool yo-yo, and it's only 20 bucks now, which is a really, really great price. I gotta say, YoyoFactory really kills it with the plastics. Like, their metals are fine. Plenty of really good ones, but their plastics are like, when I hear YoyoFactory's coming out with a new plastic yo-yo, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get that as soon as it comes out, because it's gonna be not that expensive and really great. And that's so far always been the case, at least in the last year, and you know, since I've been throwing and picking up plastics. I've enjoyed every YoyoFactory plastic I've ever touched. Even the super cheapy ones are like really good for the price. So for 20 bucks, this is a ton of yo-yo, really great for the price. They put out this year also the North Star finger spin, which is actually kind of a lighter. The original North Star was Jensen Kimmett's signature, and it was kind of wider and heavier. But the North Star finger spin is about the same size, as you can see, but it's a little lighter and has a finger spin cup. I'm not sure which one I prefer more. They kind of both play the same. This one's a little quicker, being wider, or being lighter, and it's a little less stable, being lighter, but you kind of get that with, you know, you trade weight for stability and speed. So, but 67 grams for plastic yo-yo is pretty fantastic as far as plastic is concerned, in my opinion. Now, it does have a aluminum ring in there, so it's technically a hybrid, but you know, it's a good hybrid, and at 20 bucks, you know, most other hybrids cost a lot more than that. So at 20 bucks, this is a solid price for a hybrid. This is my original one. This is about the same amount of vibe it's always come with. Let's take it apart. I'll show you guys what the inside looks like, and we're gonna do pros and cons before we throw it around, because I have two, and the revisited reviews, I just don't want to have as many clips. So there. That's how I'm doing it. So, take it apart. You will notice that you get the plastic side here, and it comes with these spacers. Now, I know not all ProtoStars have these death grip spacers, but mine are sort of death gripped in, which can make bearing maintenance kind of a pain, but I've done a little video, I'll try to link it if I can find it, about how to do ProtoStar maintenance. Basically, when it gets loud, you just kind of want to try to get lube in there as best as you can, and spin the bearing around a little bit, and it'll help kind of clean up everything and keep it nice and lubed and unresponsive. It works really well if anything starts to go funny with the bearing. And you do want to lube the ProtoStar, because to take the bearing out to clean it, especially if your spacers are death gripped like this, is going to be a little bit of a challenge, and you can end up breaking the spacers, and then you either have to buy a new ProtoStar or replace the spacers. So I guess that's sort of a, I haven't done it yet, but I know that people have done that. So I guess that's sort of its first con. We'll do cons first. I guess that's sort of its first con is the spacers can be finicky. I haven't had any problems with mine, and a lot of times if you don't have any problems, it's fine. It's no big deal. But if you do have problems with it, it can wreck your yo-yo. So there's that little design flaw there. But this has been out for like 7 years, so there's that. Other cons, it's like shiny in the middle, but the newer ones anyway have like sort of a grind finish on the outside, and I'll show you that when we throw it. So it grinds okay for like hand grinds, but you can't really do finger grinds because that is like a shiny, sticky plastic. So it doesn't work so great for that. No finger spins or thumb grinds really available here. The little bulb that's in there is going to kind of prevent that. But for 20 bucks, I mean, this is sort of the like just take everywhere, do everything yo-yo. Super long spinning, super stable. Capable of any trick you can come up with. Basically, I mean, this was, at the time, the fun thing to say was death to metal, because they were saying that this performed as well as a metal yo-yo did at the time. And I've played a lot of the yo-yos that came out in like 2007. This may have been better than a lot of those, and I tend to think that it probably was. And that's why this is still available, and a lot of those yo-yos aren't. So, ProtoStar, kind of a blast from the past, but still good enough to be considered modern. Pretty sure some World Yo-Yo contests have been won with a ProtoStar. I know for a fact Jensen Kimmett won the World Yo-Yo contest with the North Star. I think that was in 2010 or 2011. So, a competitive yo-yo, a yo-yo that's proven itself and, has stood the test of time, really. Very much a solid, a good solid yo-yo to have and to throw around. And again, at only 20 bucks, I cannot stress enough how good this yo-yo is for $20. Dollar for dollar. I mean, it's hard to compete with any of the ProtoStar, North Star series of yo-yos for the performance you get for the price. For 20 bucks, really hard to compete. And it's a fun yo-yo to throw around. The weight distribution is good. The way the ring is situated in the ProtoStar, kind of in from the rims a little bit, kind of just gives you a good weight distribution. And I don't know, it's just, there's something about it that a lot of people like, including myself. But let's throw it around a little bit, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And we are back with the YoyoFactory ProtoStar. So this is the one that I've got most recently. I got this one in a trade, but they both have 2014 stamps on them, like date stamps. So they're both 2014 ProtoStars. They both kind of play a little different, though. This one's kind of buttery. It's probably the best way to put it. It's like a little buttery feeling, while the other one's a little more like, I don't know, it cuts a little more like a knife, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. And it's probably just the amount that they're lubed. But shape, weight, distribution, and everything, pretty much the same. I've played a couple other ones. They only started doing this sort of blasting on them semi-recently. A lot of the older ones are all shiny. So the blasted ones I kind of prefer, because you can kind of get some better grinds out of them. Although I did a crappy one there. Let's try that again. Yeah, you kind of get a little bit better grinds out of them, but they're not that great at grinds. The YoyoFactory Replay Pro does better grinds than the ProtoStar does. But, again, it still does them. It's better than a lot of, like, shiny plastic yo-yos. Unless you, like, are gonna sand them down and all that stuff. But it's not bad. Not bad at all. It's actually, I think, more for if you hit it off your hand. It doesn't kill the spin as bad. So I think that's really more of what it's there for. The ring is inserted pretty well, so you're not going to get that caught on your hand, and it's not going to stick on your tricks, which is great. The weight is about 67 grams, like I said, so that's actually a really good weight, I feel like, for a plastic yo-yo, because it gives you enough weight that you're getting a lot of stability and spin time still, which I feel like a lot of plastic yo-yos kind of lack stability and spin time, particularly. A lot of plastic yo-yos do, and this one does not. It spins a long time. even from being from an era, you know, where maybe that wasn't always the case. But I don't know. I still really like it, and for $20, it's still really good. Mine are both about the same amount of smooth. This one's about 8 out of 10 smooth, maybe 7. The other one's about 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. So, not the smoothest yo-yo, but they're plastic. It's like plastic vibe. It's not like this is poorly constructed and it has some sort of a like pulse vibe. It's just plastic vibe because it's a plastic yo-yo, which is good because, you know, poor construction or bad construction methods that create pulse vibe and plastic yo-yos is really annoying. But this, not annoying. Very nice. Very good. You don't really feel the vibe on the string. At least I don't. Just kind of vibe if you're looking for it, and it's just plastic vibe. So, you know, as far as the $20 yo-yos are concerned, I mean, the ProtoStar has been a classic and has really been just a monster yo-yo for the entire time that it's existed. So I can't say enough good things about the ProtoStar. Really like it. For $20, it's kind of one of those yo-yos that, like, you know, it shows you that yo-yoing doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. If you only ever throw ProtoStars, you're not suffering performance-wise on anything. You can learn everything, and, you know, all you're throwing is $20 yo-yos, and throwing pretty good $20 yo-yos at that. But, you know, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, YoyoFactory ProtoStar. I super dig it. I hope you guys like it, too. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I do yo-yo videos pretty much every day. And, you know, I throw in other random stuff, too, because I like to do interesting things. But, yeah, so thanks so much for watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers to you, and I'll see you next time.